Welcome to another CCP Champion Spotlight video. In this video, we're talking about Hulkling. At first, I thought this guy's name implied he was a diminutive form of Hulk, but then I went to Wikipedia and learned he was a Kree-Skrull hybrid with shape-shifting powers, regeneration, and great strength. So, in other words, we're still waiting for a good version of Hulk in this game. Huh? Let's not mince words. This guy is going straight from your Cav Crystal into the Beyond God tier. In fact, we're creating a new tier for him, Beyond Parallelogram tier. That's right, just like Kabam, we can make up words too. Ever heard of champs like Hercules, Cosmic Ghost Rider? Morons. This guy can out-damage, out-utility, and outclass them. Plus, he has the best hair in the Cosmic class. Hey! Buy the Early Access Bundle today. Not only will you have a Cosmic Powerhouse and great defender on your roster, he'll immediately pay off your college loans, and you'll lose 20 pounds by tomorrow. Buy! Subject to JNIC balancing in 6 months. Hey everybody, how's it going? Campo here, and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a CCP Access video. Hope you enjoyed the intro. Obviously, I'm just playing a little bit into the stereotypes. But yeah, this guy is looking pretty solid to me. Obviously, I haven't had him for that long. I haven't really road tested him in some really meaningful content. But I do think he has kind of a deadly combination of traits that is going to make him a very powerful character. First of all, he's just very simple to use, and we'll go over all that. He has very easy access to decent damage, well above average. It's buff enhanced like most cosmic champs, as you would expect. It's basically all just sort of like brute physical damage. There's no secondary damage sources. So, you know, that's good and bad. Like obviously Safeguard can stop him and things like that, but it's nice to just have hard hitting champions, and he fits the bill for that. He has some very relevant immunities. So, you know, damage and immunities, that's always nice. And then last of all, he has some real defensive use. He's not going to be the most annoying defender, but he definitely is going to require a counter because there is, you know, the whole power manipulation thing that he's unable to be reduced on. And then, you know, additionally, he can go unblockable and indestructible. And, you know, there's just some things to consider when fighting him. So because of all that, I do think he's going to be a pretty desirable champion. And I am excited that he's going to be in the next featured crystal, the one that starts with Omega Sentinel, because he's rounding out that crystal as the 6th featured champ, and he is definitely looking pretty good. So now the first thing to note is they basically designed him to hard counter Penny Parker. He has a number of abilities that just really minimize her kits. First of all, the pierce buffs, they mean you can just get through that shield in no time. And then even if you don't, he has access to very easy unblockable. And then finally, he is immune to power burn, so that even if you do hit her block and you get, you know, what would be power burned or the power burn debuffs, they have 0 effect on you. You're not going to take any damage or lose any power. Just in general, it's important to note that the power steal, power burn, and power drain immunity that he has is for all classes and all types of champs. So this is no longer only tech champs or only metal champs like Terax is. This is all champs. So that means even like plagued mind nodes, and then, you know, like certain mystics that have powered manipulation abilities. He's going to be immune to all that. Really, the only way to stop power gain is going to be like science champions who have petrify and wither, basically. Because part of his power gain is based on ability power rate. It's not all combat power rate. So that's important to kind of know. The thing I like about him is essentially you do an action and then you immediately get a buff that enhances that action. So you have the Bulwark buff, which is off of blocks. It gives you more block proficiency. These can stack, so you're basically getting perfect blocks or perfect parries in some situations. When you hit them, you get aptitudes, and these are going to stack up and make your your special 2 hit harder when you get the Fury on there. Additionally, if you are hitting their block, you get Pierce, which is block penetration, armor penetration, and eventually that turns into a straight unblockable. How cool is it? You just spam hits into their block and eventually you break the block. And then additionally, if you get hit, you get these regens on you, which are decent regens. And then if you get hit enough, it turns into an indestructible. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Like any type of ability that you do, you're going to get an enhancement buff to help that happen. And then, you know, the way his damage rotation works, you sort of want to do the special 1 to charge your shapeshift charges, and then get up to the special 2 with 4 aptitudes, which is not hard to do. And then you want to heavy attack them. It puts on the Intimidate debuff. This is the opposite of the Infuriate from Hercules. Essentially, it makes them go passive so that then you can just spam into their block and then connect it into an unblockable special 2. It's a very easy to manipulate and satisfying rotation. Additionally, if you want to get cheesy, that special 2 hits so hard that if you do use power back boosts, and I'm unable to show this on the CCP because we can't buy them there, but if you did do a power back boost, you could potentially get back to a special 2. And then if you throw another one, you could potentially get 4 Furies, because there's not a stack limit. It's only, you know, in most scenarios, you're going to be able to get the 2 and then finish a couple combos and then they drop off. But man, him with 4 Furies and the aptitudes, it's just absolutely insane. And then, you know, I mentioned it very briefly, but I just wanted to talk about that Intimidate debuff. It's the first time we've seen it, and it seems to work really well. You just heavy attack them, you put the debuff on them, they're immediately going to hold block and just like turn into Mordo charging power. It just means there could be some other implications to controlling AI that way if you don't want them to be hitting. Like say you're going up against Bane and you want them to just chill there for a second. You can just do that and then, you know, do some hits into block, get the unblockable, get your opening, transfer the Bane. I could see that being a real thing in the future as well. So I am going to stop there in terms of the abilities. If you want to see the whole thing, you can obviously read, you know, on Aunt May or something, or watch Dorky Dave's deep dive where he sort of breaks it down. This is going to be more of an analysis video, and we're going to go into some gameplay next. So hope you enjoy. So right off the bat, I wanted to just show off the Penny Parker countering ability. There's only a couple Penny Parkers in Act 7.4, so don't really mind this node. It's just going to put some extra armor breaks on her, essentially. But we can just hit her normally because she doesn't have any Spider Sense charges. But we're going to see relatively soon that we're going to start by throwing a special 1. Note that his power gain is enhanced every time you use a shape-shifting charge. And now we're going to start hitting her block. Notice 1 hit takes it all the way down to 57% because of these Pierce debuffs. Now right there, she auto-blocked us, but we did not get power burns because we are immune. So we throw this Bulwark on. That makes her hold her block. We got an unblockable. The shield's all the way down. Now we throw this, and look at that. The white numbers are 13k. The yellow numbers are 27k. And that's just because all of our unique debuffs are increasing our attack. We have 2 Furies enhanced by 4 aptitudes. And, you know, all I'm doing is special 1, special 2, special 1, special 2. Now the shield is back, so we can just hit this block. And again, 1, 2, 3 hits and the shield is down. And even if we did get auto blocked, it wouldn't have been a big deal. And now I get a little reckless at the end just because I'm having a nice time. And I want to try to get the unblockable, but I realize my shape-shifting charges are a little low. So I was hoping that that would be unblockable, but because of the Pierce debuffs, that was doing like 9k into her block, and then I just got a little lucky there and finished with a special 2. I thought it was important for this video to not do that many takes of my fights, so that was literally the first time I ever fought a Penny Parker with Hulkling without practicing. Same thing with this Ultron here. This is another node that is going to kind of enhance Cosmic Champions. Before I did some other fights, I wanted to just show this to kind of show how good he can do on a lane like this where there's buffed up, and then there's also impatience. So essentially we're going to get these passive concussions on us, which will potentially give us more Furies. but none of these nodes really matter because he's just going to take care of business so fast against this Ultron. So you can notice our power gain is shooting up a little bit every time we use a shape-shifting charge, so we can get 1 bar of power before he gets 1 bar of power, which is a really cool ability. This knockdown is going to get rid of the concussion, no big deal. You can see our shape-shifting charges are supercharged because we threw that special 1. And now we're just going to try to get to our special 2. Because of that Intimidate, we're able to just hit his block. Look how big those block strikes are doing. There's the unblockable. Unleash a big special 2. 5 figures, man. All in the tens of thousands of damage, even on the white hits. That's something. That's something right there. I think some of that has to do with the Pierce reducing armor. And then, you know, additionally the Furies and the Aptitudes and everything. It's just pretty awesome, man. It's pretty awesome. And look how easy it is. Like, again, special 1, special 2, special 1, special 2. That one, we only had 1 Fury and it was still hitting quite hard. And then you get to hang on to the Fury a little bit after. You're allowed to hang on to the Fury a little bit longer if you have the Awakened ability sigged up. It gives you a few extra seconds, which isn't so bad. There's another special 1. Just have to be a little careful of the evade. Making our way up to a special 2. We throw the Intimidate on again. Look at that. He throws his block. He allows us to just hang out. Oh no, he evaded. Who cares? Because we're unblockable. So we break the block. And, you know, talk about a flow and a kit that just sort of makes sense and flows together. Pretty cool. Now, this fight, I wanted to do the random lane test, and I could have done more of the lane, but I didn't want this video to go too long. This is a lane that is supposed to enhance mutant attackers, and then it also has the unlimited power node, so he's going to be gaining a ton of Furies, and then it also has unblockable finale. So if you don't have a way to deal with the node itself, you basically need someone who can out-damage it and just brute force through it. And, you know, a champ like Hercules, Cosmic Ghost Rider, that's one of their jobs. It's just like, hey, I'm going to brute force through this node. And we're going to see how he does in a situation like this. Now, the Intimidate was purified because of his abilities, but he did be a little friendly there and he held his block. So here we go. We have our 2 Furies. We have our 4 Aptitudes. We get hit there. So now take a look at this regeneration. Between the adrenaline and the regeneration buffs that we got from getting hit, look how high our health is going to go. It's almost back to like 90% again, and we made a big mistake in this fight, and he had some Furies on him. That really hurt, but look, these regens are making it look like absolutely nothing happened. There's no cooldown on the regen, so you can get those things back at any point. We're unblockable again. We can throw a big special 2. Again, the numbers really good, even when they don't crit. He doesn't have the highest crit rate in the business, but he really doesn't need it because of just the power of that Fury. And then let's see, initially here, he's about to go unblockable, so we're gonna have to be a little careful. I'm just kind of watching his power meter, making sure that we can bait the specials in appropriate times if we need to. Hitting his block, we go unblockable again. So now we're both unblockable. Bait the special 2. We have to be a little careful to close out this fight. Our basic hits are doing fine even when we only have the Pierce on us because of the armor penetration, and I'm hoping that this special 2 is going to finish him off. It doesn't quite, but then a couple more blocked hits with the Pierce on and he goes down like it's no problem. So, you know, there was a node, we got hit a couple times, we still finished with like 90% health, no issues at all there, right? And finally, this is a fight that was on one of the other lanes that I took, and I just wanted to show you how the indestructible works. So we are going to actually get hit on purpose in this fight, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough of the shapeshift charges. So we get a bulwark, we get an aptitude there. We're just going to allow our shapeshift charges to kind of go up so that we can throw the special 1. Now we have plenty of shapeshift charges, and we're going to get hit on purpose. So there we go. We get 4 regen buffs at the beginning, and then if we keep getting hit, it turns into an indestructible. So it really kind of mitigates the damage there, and the regen is going to help get us all the way back up. So, you know, obviously this ghost is not that difficult of a fight, but let's say you totally mess up. The indestructible can potentially save you, and then these regens are still ticking, so that we're going to get pretty close to 50% health again by the time this fight is over. And then, you know, now we've recovered, we can just sort of do the normal rotation, special 1, special 2, to help get Ghost down the rest of the way, and it's no issues at all. So there we go, the Intimidate. So now we can hit the block a little bit and get the unblockable. Straight into the special 2, 28k, 28k, 14k on the white numbers. And then, you know, these Furies last a little bit longer. And look at those hits into the block, man. I love how hard those hits hit into the block. It's like you have the invade node up for the entire time. Just absolutely crazy. So that's going to take care of this video for today. I hope you understand that, you know, my goal is not to overhype champions, but I really do think that there is something here, and he's somebody that I definitely want on my roster and who I think is going to make a big impact in the Cosmic class. So what are your thoughts? Are you going for this guy? Are you going to grind him out in the arena or buy Cavalier Crystals? I'm personally waiting because it's only about a month and a half before the next featured crystal comes out, so I am not spending money on trying to get this guy, but I am pretty excited to potentially pull him in less than 2 months' time. And yeah, just let me know your thoughts, and if you like this style video, I'll be making more in the future. We'll take it from there. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.